For this reason I was born. For this day I came into the world. Yet, as the time draws near, I find that I am overwhelmed. My soul literally recoils at what is before me. It's not the Roman cross that I fear, nor the shame of being crucified with criminals, but separation from my heavenly Father. Never have I displeased him. Never have I felt the brunt of his holy wrath. Soon, all that will change. Soon I will become the very thing he most detests. Soon there'll be a gulf between us, and I will be the sole object of his unmitigated wrath. These are the thoughts that weigh heavily upon me as I move toward Gethsemane with the 11 disciples. It's a favorite retreat of mine, a place where I often come to be alone with the Father, but tonight it affords me no comfort. It is dark and foreboding, not at all like a place of prayer. Turning to Peter, James, and John, I confide, my soul is overwhelmed to the point of sorrow, to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch. Leaving them, I go a little farther, face down on the cold ground. I try to pray, but the words will not come. The will of the Father is clear, yet everything within me fights against it. I should pray for strength, for courage, but instead I plead with the Father. Desperately, I search for another alternative, for another way, a less extreme way to fulfill his purpose. Now I plead, Abba, Father, everything is possible for you. Take this cup from me. Yet, not what I will, but what you will. Everything within me is repulsed by the cup the Father presses upon me. Yet more than anything, I want to please him. With trembling hands, I lift it up and look into its dark dregs. I am determined to drink it, but I cannot. What I see causes my soul to recoil in horror. I stumble from the place of prayer, seeking the solace of my companions. To my amazement, I find them sleeping. Grabbing Peter by the shoulder, I shake him. Could you not keep watch for 1 hour? For once, Peter is speechless. I cannot help feeling kindly toward him. Had he blustered or made an excuse, I might have rebuked him, but his grieving silence touches something deep within me. So more gently I say, watch and pray, so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the body is weak. Returning to the place of prayer, a great heaviness settles upon me. The future is foreboding. Soon, Judas will come, and I will be placed under arrest. My disciples will desert me, fleeing in fear, and Peter will deny me. Caiaphas, the high priest, and the Sanhedrin, they will charge me with blasphemy, a crime punishable by death. My own countrymen will scream for my blood. Pilate will order me scourged, and I will be beaten within an inch of my life. Finally, the Romans will nail me to a cross, and there I will die. All this is painful beyond imagining, yet it is not what my soul cannot bear. It is not what I plead for the Father to take from me. All this I can manage because the Father will be with me. He will strengthen me. With the Father's help, I can bear the injustice and brutality of men. What I cannot imagine, what my soul cringes at, is the prospect of being separated from him and suffering the penalty of sin at his hand. Once more, the Father presses the cup upon me, and try as I may, I cannot bear to drink it. In its dark dregs is the poison that is destroying those who were created in our image. There is rebellion there, and lust, and profane passions. It is filled to the brim with all manner of evil, treachery and deceit, pride and power, adultery and murder. Sickness and disease are there, as is death. Everything I hate is in that cup. Everything I've come to destroy. The Father's purpose is clear, but I cannot bring myself to accept his plan. At least, not yet. Surely there must be another way. Father, I pray, while my inner turmoil causes my sweat to become like blood. Father, if it is not possible to take this cup from me unless I drink it, may your will be done. Having said that, I flee the place of prayer, seeking the solace of my friends, and once more I find them sleeping. And though my heart is grieved, I do not wake them. Their companionship might provide temporary solace, but in the end, the cup is mine and mine alone. No one can share it with me. For the third time, I go to the Father in anguish, almost unbearable, and I pray earnestly with tears and loud cries. There is no other way, of that I am now sure. I must become the one thing I most detest in order to destroy it. I, who have been tempted in all ways without sin, must now become sin in order to accomplish the Father's purpose. With trembling hands, I take the cup from the Father and place it to my lips. May your will be done, I pray. And I drink deeply from its dark dregs. A supernatural peace floods my being. No longer am I at war with myself. I am once more in tune with the Father. Once more I am focused. The only reason for living is to accomplish His purpose. And like a flint, I set my face toward Golgotha. Returning to the disciples for a third time, I arouse them. My hour has come. And through the trees, I can see Judas coming. I speak to the disciples, the sleep-drugged disciples. Here comes my betrayer. Hardly the words out of my mouth before Judas comes into the clearing. And leading a group of armed temple guards, without hesitation, he comes to me and greets me with a kiss. Before he can step away, I grab his shoulders. Judas, I ask, in a voice they can all hear, are you betraying the Son of Man with a kiss? Jerking free from my grasp, he steps aside, and I'm instantly surrounded by the guards. As I am here, I see them. And I say, I've been with you all this time in the temple courts. I've been with you. Why do you come now? Why do you come in this darkness? But this is your hour when darkness reigns. In an instant, they are upon me, jerking my hands behind my back. They bind my wrists securely. I search for Judas, finally locating him in the deep shadows at the far edge of the clearing. Staring at him, I will him to look at me. But he will not. He has already separated himself from me. The next 12 hours are horrible, beyond anything I could have imagined. I suffer in every possible way a human being could suffer, physically, mentally, emotionally. Nevertheless, through it all, I am sustained by the Father's presence and the supernatural peace which He gives. Even on the cross, I find strength to intercede for my executioners. Suddenly, at the 6th hour, darkness falls. Though it is high noon, it is blacker than any moonless night. The sun cannot penetrate the darkness, nor the stars, and it is possible to see. But black as it is, the physical darkness cannot compare with the dark night that descends upon my soul. In the darkness, the Father deals with me not as a loving and merciful Father, but as a righteous judge with an evildoer. Now He regards me as the greatest sinner to be found beneath the face of the sun, and discharges on me the whole weight of His wrath. In the void, I hear Him say, "Depart from me." And I experience a punishment worse than death. Separation from my Heavenly Father. As inconceivable as it seems, the one thing I cannot bear, the one thing that I desire, is for the Father to accept me. And as I do that which makes the Father want to accept me, I experience the one thing I cannot accept, His rejection. It is the price I must pay in order to redeem Adam's lost race, but it is nearly more than I can bear. Never in time or eternity have I ever been separated from Him. Never until this moment. And somewhere in the deepest recesses of my heart, an orphan's cry is born. Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. My God, why have you forsaken me? But there is no answer. For God is gone. And I'm alone. Totally alone. Death is very near. In the gloom, the Prince of Darkness, the Keeper of Dead, gloats as he waits for me to die. Summoning the last of my swiftly ebbing strength, I cry out, Father, Into your hands I commit my spirit. At last it is finished. The cup is finally empty. Sin's debt is paid in full. I have suffered the full penalty for the sins of all mankind. Now the Father is free to pardon and forgive even the worst of Adam's lost race.